This is Tiger Cats postgame on the Ticats Audio Network.
Six and 7. How does that sound, Tiger Cats fans? What a win. And what a win for this team. What a win for the city of Hamilton. And what a win for the crowd here at Tim Hortons Field, who gave their Tiger Cats a standing ovation. Bubba O'Neill along with Andy Fantuz here at Tiger Cats pregame. 29-23. What a win. We felt good. We felt good before and been disappointed. But you know what? This was 60 minutes of football from beginning to end. And I'm going to say this. They deserved the victory.
They did. They came out flying. There was adversity. They got that, like Winnipeg had their points, had their moments, and Hamilton just kept responding. The resilience, the heart of this team was fantastic. It totally translated over from last week. That heart-filled victory in Ottawa, and to come in back home and play a Winnipeg team that's just one of the top in the league, coming off that big victory. What an incredible victory. Just a total team win. They really got it done in all phases and played smart ball, got turnovers, were able to punch it in the end zone and make some big stops when they needed them. So just a great effort for the Cats to start off the final 6 of the season. And now they're neck and neck. They're tied with Montreal in the standings for second in the East. And they control their destiny because they still play them.
You know, it kind of seemed to me, and this is no insult, but it looked like the most prepared the team had been coaching-wise.
Yeah, I think you could say that. I thought that, it's hard to know what the defensive calls is just watching it live without taking a look at the film, but they certainly had Zach confused a number of times.
Yes.
He was throwing passes, and there were people coming out of nowhere to intercept them or almost intercept them, bat them down, having to scramble around. They're able to hold Brady Oliveira for under 50 yards rushing.
Shocking.
And they really controlled the flow of the game. And they only had one punt in the first half. They ended up having a little bit slower of a second half of offensively, but they did what they needed to do, and they controlled the pace of the game. So I agree with you. They were prepared, and they executed.
To the point that you're talking about keeping Zach very confused I think we were looking at my monitor here at the face of Zach Collaros after he was intercepted by Kenneth George, and who I felt really good about because you remember game 1, he got roasted pretty good. And it was his first CFL game in Winnipeg, and Zach and his offense, they were attacking him. So for him to get one back probably felt pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's nice because in that first game, if you remember, he kind of like tripped up on his feet a few times. And
yes.
He was on the ground where the receiver was making a long catch. And he's like, what's going on here? But I think in football, you got to give somebody a chance to learn from their mistakes, and that's what Mark Washington and Coach Orlando Steiner have done with Kenneth George Jr. Because even after that first game, there were teams taking shots on him and being successful, but he's been growing game after game after game, and that's all you can ask for from a player is learn from your mistakes, give full effort, be prepared, do your assignment. And then it comes down to physical execution, which if you can learn and keep growing, then that's what you want. So and then I guess to get back to your point, yeah, Zach, he didn't see him at all. And then you think Malik Carney, a defensive end, gets a big pick and runs it back a nice chunk of yards. And I was really impressed with this team's plan and execution today. And they were certainly prepared and played well.
We'll bring in Courtney Stephen into the broadcast as well, too. And Andy, let's take that opportunity here to review your CarStar keys to victory.
Yeah, let's do it. So number 1 was shut down the run and try to make Winnipeg one-dimensional. And sure, Zach ended up with quite a bit of passing yards, 344 passing yards and a couple touchdowns. But that was, I think that was the approach that we thought we needed to take, is we can't let them control the tempo of the game, the physicality of the game, and holding Brady Oliveira for under 50 yards rushing. The team had 93 yards rushing total, the Bombers, but a lot of that came on a big chunk yard from Rashard Bailey. So I'm going to give this one a passing grade for sure. I thought they did a great job of stacking the box. There was only one or two chunk yard rushes by the running back for over 10 yards.
Number two
was open the playbook. And again, it's tough to say exactly on defense without getting back to the film, but the fact that Zach looked so confused on those and so angry on those interceptions tells me, yeah, they were doing something different today. He wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready for that. They were able to shut down that amazing running game of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So on defense, definitely a check mark. And on offense, I loved what I saw. I really did.
Yeah.
We saw every type of throw today. We saw the run game going at times, 160 yards rushing total. Tim White had a big 50-yarder, 52-yarder, and Butler had his fair share. Taylor Powell was kind of moving around. Like, he did have to make some plays on some broken plays downfield when he was scrambling, but I think that the play calling was there. They were taking shots right from the start, and they got on him early, and they didn't let go. So definitely a passing grade for open the playbook.
And number 4, another win. Number three.
Another
win.
Yeah, win the turnover battle. Like, crucial, and 4 turnovers, 4 and 2 against. So that bodes well anytime you're playing a football game, especially against a strong team that plays disciplined ball and has a knack for taking the ball away. So 3 for 3 today, and what do you know? Big victory on the scoreboard.
Time for our catch of the game, presented by Fisherman's Friend. Fisherman's Friend, it works. That's the honest truth. Situation was this: Tiger Cats open up with a field goal, second possession of the contest, first quarter, crowd on their feet, and Taylor Powell's going to work.
Second and goal from the 7. Taylor Powell gets the snap, wants to pass, on the run, he completes it, it's a touchdown! Terry Godwin, the Tiger Cats do cash in, and it's 9-0 with the convert coming up.
Wow, Terry Godwin crossing from left to right. He caught that just shy of the goal line and muscled his way into the end zone through the tackle. RJ, you said it. I mean, it's just plain and simple. They're getting better in the score zone. They just are. They're making it happen. Their confidence is growing, that you can tell. They've got multiple players making plays already in this game to take a 2-score lead right off the bat.
Let's bring in RJ Broadhead. So all 4 of us are here for this broadcast at this point. And I think the best part about this, RJ, to me, is that something that we've been kind of banging on the Tiger Cats a little bit for. That made that touchdown reception made it 10-0.
Yep.
The Ticats started quick.
First quarter touchdown. That's their first one in a long time, second one of the season, and we saw it against Montreal earlier in the year, where the Tiger Cats were in the red zone and had to settle for field goals. Montreal came back and won that game, and Tiger Cats have been talking about it. Have to get touchdowns in those situations. They've been way better in the red zone lately, and that was big. Against Winnipeg, saw how this game finished. It was an exciting finish, more exciting than the Tiger Cats wanted. But building up those points early, so important. Look at that first game against Winnipeg. They were down 29-4 at the half. Did a valiant job coming back in the second half, but that's too much. So to have the lead and to be able to extend it, that was massive against a really good team. We're seeing a different Tiger Cats team now.
Yeah, you see what a difference that makes, that early start in a game where in the first half the Bombers had 19 rush yards. Imagine that was flipped and they were up 10-0. That number would be much different. There would be way less opportunity for the Ticats offense to get rolling. You jump on someone quick, it totally changes the dynamic, and you kind of control the flow of the game from there.
Courtney, Stephen, again, kind of like the BC game, these Tiger Cats, when their defense are given a lead, they can protect it.
And I think they were very opportunistic today. It wasn't as if those plays that they made were gimmies. There were some plays that Winnipeg was trying to extend, And sometimes those can go the wrong way. And Ticats ended up on the right side of some of those plays, getting pressure in the backfield, causing errant throws, changing things so that Zach had to diagnose on the move, and then those were tip balls that were hustled to. And when you just work really hard, and I think some days the ball bounces in your direction, but when you're hustling, you're going to get more of those bounces. And today the Ticats took advantage when the ball came their way.
Here's something I'll throw to all three you guys. You can comment. Doug Brown, the Hall of Fame defensive end, one of the best we've ever seen in this game. One of the broadcasters for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers released something on social media saying, "The Hamilton hangover continues." Do you find that disrespectful, RJ?
Well, they haven't won a regular season game in Hamilton since 2017. Bombers are good. You got to knock them off the block when it really matters. If they meet again, we know when that will be. So they can say what they want. Tiger Cats get the win. That's all they had to do. Bombers, I'm sure, have a pretty high view of themselves, and they should. They've earned it over the last few years.
Yeah, I wouldn't think too much of it because you remember what we were talking about with that streak going into Calgary, how long that was going on for. We chatted quite a bit about that. I'm sure we said some similar type of comments about it.
We wouldn't do that.
He's talking to his fan base. I think it's
right.
Yeah, I don't think it's disrespectful.
And I feel like the Ticats are happy to be on that side of the narrative for one time, you know. So the tables always turn, no matter what. The pendulum swings the other way, and so, you know, it's fun to have somebody else writing those kind of headlines for a week.
And Andy, you brought up the point there at halftime, kind of like this. We kind of had this feeling almost to the date last year with this same football team.
We did, and that game was incredible last year, and same with this. It was just a high octane, explosive, fun to watch football game, no matter what side you're on, unless you're just a defensive guru, I guess.
And I think over his career, Simone has great games against Winnipeg. And Malik Carney, we know, has great games against Winnipeg in this stadium. And I think we're going to have to add Stavros Katsantonis to that list of people who have great games against Winnipeg in this stadium, because he showed up today as well.
Well, let's take this opportunity to name our performer of the game as presented by Hercules Tire. Hercules Tire, right on our strength. And it is the man playing safety.
Man, number 30 showed up today, didn't he? He was flashing on film, and he's been hot as of late. So, you know, I thought it would be a great opportunity for him against a team who's known to run the ball very, very heavily, that he might get a chance to make some tackles. Finished the day with 6, made a sack in the low red zone that, you know.
Huge timing on that.
Great timing, which would have taken 7 points off the board and turned it into 3. And we saw how close the game was at the end. That was a big play. And then he also got his hands on one ball that tipped and was picked. They called it back. He goes out there, next couple plays, gets the ball right back. I mean, we got to call him by his real name. The Mongoose.
Yeah, I was wondering about that nickname.
Stavros Katsantonis.
I don't think
we mentioned it.
Are we allowed to say why his nickname?
People are going to have to go on social media. They're going to have to check out the Ticats social handles for that one. That was a story from earlier this week.
Yes,
so
yes.
I heard a fan calling him the Greek prodigy earlier today during the game.
Wow.
He said, this guy's for real.
Unbelievable. Like, he has been on a tear all over the place. He's one of those guys, Luke and I talked about it in the broadcast. The ball's always around him, or he's always around the ball. There's something about him, and it's exciting, and creating those turnovers. Leads the team now with 4. Just huge plays. What about at the end, Courtney? Because you played that position. Were they trying to knock that ball down or pick it off? Because knockdown worked out way better for field position.
Well, yeah, you always want to, as a coach, tell them knock it down. But the competitor in you wants that extra stat in the column. You know, they don't ask you how you got it done. They just want to see how many picks you got. And a multi-game is always hard to come by. So they were fighting over that one.
Yeah.
and I think it's fair to bring this up, too, and is the fact that as a safety and you played that position, you're kind of the captain of that secondary. And that's a secondary that's, at least for today, this was not a very regular secondary based on the personnel.
Yeah, I thought 14 Dexter Lawson did a great job stepping in with not a lot of reps under his belt in this defense. And you know what? Considering all things and the circumstance, I thought he played very well. Had a couple of hands on some balls that were coming his direction. And, hats off to Mark Washington's DB corps for stepping up in a tough game. You had two guys, Dalton Schoen and Dembski. They're going to get their numbers. They're going to do their numbers. But, as long as you bend but don't break for those kinds of guys, then you got a chance to be in the game, and it worked out for them.
Yeah, they got tested. They went after him a little bit. But like you said, they were able to stop when they needed to stop them. And there were some big plays by Winnipeg. That's what makes them so scary.
Yeah,
they can strike quick.
Yeah, you can live with that against a team that's this dangerous, right? You don't want to just be giving up wide open digs and curls all game long where you just feel helpless and we can't stop these guys. Yeah, you want to take a shot and all right, you might make a play. Well, next time we're gonna get an interception. So that's the kind of ball game that we were hoping to see, and we saw.
RJ, as a broadcaster, as a voice of the Tiger Cats, you want to be calling games and big situations with crowd involvement. And the crowd, I thought they were, really the 13th man today. I thought they were at it a lot. But the Tiger Cats gave them reason to. Even crazy plays like the Tyreek McAllister return, that, that's going to get forgotten. That happened so hours ago. But that got the crowd involved.
It did, yeah. The Tiger Cats came out, and that got the crowd early. That good start, that was so important, and this is what the fans wanted to see. I think around the league, this is what was expected from the Tiger Cats at the start of the season. And talking to players and coaches, and Andy and Courtney, you guys know it takes a while to come together. I think we're seeing that now.
You've got exclusive access to the coaching room. Time to check in with Coach O. Presented by Access Storage. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. And I'll tell you, our head coach certainly has to be one of the happiest. And I know he's used the word proud a lot, even in wins and losses as well, too. He's got to be really, really happy with the way this one worked out today, considering the fact that, I don't know how much point spread means as a player or as a coach, but certainly Hamilton were not the favorite team today. So let's get down there to the coaching room and talk to Coach O. Coach, congratulations on a well-coached game, a big victory in front of the home crowd. But so I'll let you answer this question this way. The Hamilton Tiger Cats won this game because?
Yeah, that's way to go, Bub. So we won the game. We were able to execute in all three phases. It's that simple. Three phases showed up tonight. Offense, I thought, controlled the game in the first half, did a great job. I thought they were having a tough time slowing us down, both on second down, and we were able to flip the field. As much as we took a few too many penalties in the second half, how about Tyreek's missed extra point? That was key. That was clutch. And just for momentum, there's a lot of things there. And the defense can't say enough, taking the ball away and then having to go back out there. Three phases. Great win for the organization in the city.
Coach, what can you say about the growth of Stavros Katsantonis and just his impact he has on the team?
Yeah, this guy works hard. That's what I say. And so I'm not surprised at all. Meaning this guy's in early. He's studying tape. He's making practice. He just and meaning he is very dominant on special teams leading up to this opportunity. I think he's playing a big chunk of games versus just when somebody's injured.
Coach, it's Courtney here. Taylor Powell led the team to victory this week. Being a quarterback, a lot of times you get that credit, but talk a little bit about his decision making, because I think to the casual observer, some of the great decisions that he makes go unrecognized, but just his growth up to this point, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say you're bang on. I think his decision making, I think Scott's doing a great job with him, giving him stuff. I just think that they're doing a job of just expertly preparing, and Taylor wants to put the work in, and I've said this time and time again, but his foundation is super solid, and then he wants to have that work ethic. I should say he epitomizes that. It allows him to maybe expedite this process, but he's still learning. and I thought that he just made some really good decisions, especially creating. He did do a lot from the pocket, but he did create and keep the sticks moving. Of course, ultimately, one to Tim, he had a touchdown.
Hey, it's RJ. I've got coach voice after that one. I'm going to need a lozenge. That was
nice.
That was a lot of fun. The crowd loved it. Just take us through. It was close at the end. Just the defensive stop, and maybe the defense in general, but more so that stop to get the turnover on downs against a team that you could never really count out.
Yeah, it's just what I've noticed is there's just a different demeanor from the inside out. Meaning we didn't flinch. The moments weren't too big. There wasn't any finger pointing, any griping, complaining. It was simply another opportunity to play defense. And that's what the defense gets paid to do. And they went out there and played a hell of a game. And when we needed it most.
You still there, Coach?
What's that?
Oh, phone cut out for a second. You're back now. Continue.
Yeah, no, I was just making the comment that we were certain that those extra 3 points and whatnot, or obviously a touchdown to make it that 2-score game, and it just didn't go up. And I just thought we didn't flinch there. And what I'm referring to here is Taylor got sacked and the ball came out. That was an opportunity for that momentum to really affect us, and I thought we did a good job of minimizing that.
Coach, one last one here. All of a sudden, your team, you're 6-7, and I know you don't have the tiebreaker, but you're tied with Montreal. They always talk about playing better after Labor Day, and your team seemed to be grinding. They seem to be peaking.
Yep. Are you there?
Yep.
You guys still have me?
Yep.
Yeah. No. I mean, they do. We're going to take it 1 week at a time. And I know that's a cliche, but it's the truth. That's what we're doing. And this was just the next game on the schedule. We knew this was going to be a tough one. And I don't expect anything different from this football team. Scrap and battle. And, the standings and the rankings, I just know if you keep winning, then things take care of themselves.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the CFL stats coming out next week and seeing that plus on the turnover ratio.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. It's been a long road.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need to travel that one anymore. But, hey, here we come.
Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy the victory. It certainly sounds like you and the team certainly are. So enjoy, and we look forward to next week when you face those Argos.
Let's get it done. All right, congratulations, guys, to you too. Appreciate you.
Talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, you got to really love the mood. And again, anyone, when you're watching sports, it really does come down to this, guys. Winning is great. Losing is not so great. And right now, as I just said to the coach there, RJ, momentum. And we can't help, and Bob Irving and Andy and I talked about this, the fact that, it is true about the Canadian Football League, about playing better after Labor Day.
Yeah, I had a good chat with Jameer Thurman about that, and he and I kind of agreed that usually bad teams say that the season starts after Labor Day because they're struggling and they want to get going. Good teams, they think the season started when the season started. So for the Tiger Cats, yeah, in this scenario, you're right. It's a long season, and you can have a couple of tough games as long as you get it on the rails at the right time. And
well, you've been the most optimistic man of all of us.
I know. I have been optimistic, and being around the players and the team and the coaching staff, I guess it rubs off because none of them have ever wavered. There's been some valleys, but they're stay with us, and here's the result.
Well, you can feel the emotion every time we talk to Coach O, whether it's a win or a loss, heartbreak, a great game, and you can feel the genuinity of it. And I loved his last comment there about how it's a difference of within the team, and within your body almost. Like he was saying, no moment is too big. There was adversity, and it just. You're just living in the moment and playing play by play, and that is a big difference. Instead of having, that's a culture of always belief, always determined, instead of having okay, let's hope that something doesn't go wrong, where it seemed to be that case for parts of the last year and a half,
Right back to the locker room, and let's connect with our performer of the game, presented by Hercules Tire, right on our strength, Stavros Katsantonis. This exclusive post-game interview is presented by Access Storage. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Well, number 30, you really rallied the troops from your safety position, too. You had some newcomers in that secondary with you, and that defense was certainly a very critical point and reason why the Ticats were victorious today.
Yeah, definitely 100%. We always practice around here and preach that next man up mentality, and just proud of our guys that stepped up, Jackson, Woods, and they're not changing anything that they haven't already done each week. They're preparing each week like they're the starters. So wasn't worried for a minute about them, and just proud of the way they rallied and finished the game.
Stavros, being a safety, what do you like better, getting a interception or a sack?
Oh man, they definitely both have their high points, but I think interceptions are always going to be the key point there. Anytime you can take the ball away and put it in the hands of an explosive offense like ours, I'm going to take advantage of that. So for sure, the interception.
Hey, Stav, this is Courtney. A lot of people are becoming familiar with your game as of late, but for those of us in Ticats Nation who are maybe probably just seeing that Stavros Katsantonis is this big game player, why don't you explain what's your game? Like, how would you describe what you bring to the field every time you step on there?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I just bring a lot of unique things. One of them being ball hawk for sure, just being able to see the ball. But, I wouldn't be anything without, my coaching staff and the preparation that goes into each week. They get us prepared. They make sure that we're in the right position. But for sure, definitely the ball hawking ability, just the way I'm able to just see it play, definitely is one of my unique traits. And then just having a nose for getting to the ball. And whoever has the rock is just kind of see red, hit red. So, I love to hit, love to be physical. And, that's just definitely two of the big things in my game right there.
Stavros, it's RJ. You're such a nice guy off the field. You are vicious out there.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to be in this game. This isn't a game for the faint of heart. As much as they want to put in more safety rules or anything like that, at the end of the day, we play, tackle football. So I'm always going to stand on the side of just being a hard hitting player out there. And if you're moving and your knee hasn't hit the ground, better get down. And that's how all of us play here in the Steel Town B.
Well, amazing. It was fun to watch. The last 3 games, 18 tackles, 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery, a quarterback sack, a knockdown. What's been going right for you lately? I talked to Simone, and he said it's just that time of year. Got to bring it. Is that the case with you?
Yeah, I think they say the season doesn't start till after Labor Day. And, everyone's got to rise to the occasion. Not just me. It's all 22 of us out there, 24 of us out there, sorry, and special teams as well there. So I think it's easy to say, I'm making great plays and stuff like that, but I think all of us know that there's a little bit more that we have to give, and however we view that, what we're doing out here.
Well, Stavros, we'll let you get back to your boys, and congratulations on the victory. I will do some digging. I want to know a little bit more about this mongoose thing and what this is all about, but we'll get to that. Courtney's over here laughing, so we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll get to the bottom of that story.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys.
All right. Congratulations. Enjoy the victory. Guys, just about 30 seconds, couple quick seconds.
Yeah, I think this is the Tiger Cats team that we thought we were going to see, and it couldn't be better timing, and I can't wait until next Saturday, because that's the big test against Toronto.
It certainly is. The Ticats have had a tough time carrying momentum from one game to the next. They did it today after that Ottawa victory. let's see if they can do it twice in a row and go into Toronto and send a message for when they're going to see them in the playoffs.
Man, this is a team that is going to be firing on all cylinders, so can't wait to watch them play again.
Tiger Cats 29, Bombers 23. Thank you so much for listening. Folks, we'll see you a week from now. Ticats are in Toronto. Our broadcast starts at 6 o'clock, streaming live at listen.ticats.ca and access across the Ticats audio network.